It's 16 minutes past midday on a Sunday, bank holiday Sunday. So it was ex-Girls Aloud's Nadine Coyle, who's opposite me now, and Cheryl Cole and Sarah Harding and Nicola Roberts and Kimberly Walsh, who between them had the fastest number one hit after being formed than any other band ever, anywhere. Sound of the Underground. I remember them coming in and singing it on Richard and Judy on Channel 4. That was then. This is now. They're all doing their own thing. And Nadine's thing of late has been a huge hit. She's just been Michael Flatley's Erin the Goddess in his latest Lord of the Dance on stage. And she's got 3 tracks all to herself on the album from the show. And she's busy working on her second solo album, which I understand is masterminded by the guy who masterminded All Girls Aloud hits, Nadine.
Well,
right?
We worked a lot together. That's Brian Higgins.
Yeah.
He done basically every Girls Aloud song that we ever done. But Brian and I haven't worked together for this album. But strangely, I wrote a song with another guy called Eugene McGuinness the other day, and it sounds very Girls Aloud. We're
okay.
Okay.
How would you okay then, as you move forward as a solo artist, how would you define your sound, your style musically? What are you?
Musically, I like to sing. Naturally my voice will go towards more of like a blues type, and that's kind of what I like to listen to. But I've done pop for a long time. It's been pop, rock.
Yeah.
So now moving forward, you kind of have a bit of everything on there. There's ballads on there. There's a bit of kind of rockier songs on there. There's a lot of different kind of styles going on within it. So it's about polishing off the album and bringing it all together. So it's it's a nice sound.
I could listen to your voice all day. You've got the most incredible accent. It's just it's beautiful. It's like sort of warm honey, sort of dripping everywhere. It's fantastic.
I really appreciate that. That's not usually the reaction I get to my accent. People are like, "What? What are you saying? What is she talking about?" So
I mean, and this is you speaking in London. I guess when you go home to Northern Ireland, it must become it must then become almost impenetrable.
It's it has a very strong accent, and it's one of those things where you just can't shake it. It's so much of its own kind that it doesn't sound a London accent. But it's funny, whenever I first moved to London, people thought that this was an American accent. Funnily enough.
Seriously?
So then when my family moved to America, people thought that then I had picked up an American accent. And I was like, no, I don't think so. But
well, looking back to the Girls Aloud days, how long were the band together for? Girls
they
Aloud?
were together. So we were put together in 2002. Yeah. And we done a 10-year reunion, which was actually in our 11th year.
Right. Okay.
We done that in 2013.
Okay.
So, and what are we, 2015? So we're 13 years?
Is it true? I was doing the usual sort of wiki search about you and about the girls and everything earlier, and again, you'd have to take everything you read on that thing with a huge pinch of salt. But is it true that you only knew that the band were calling it a day 20 minutes before you went on stage to do a show? Is that right?
Yeah, that's actually that happened
brutal.
before the very last performance. It was really shocking. I wanted to connect. I was like, oh my god, this is great, we're having a great time, but everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. You want to be supportive.
Whose decision was it then?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I think maybe it was a collective decision, maybe it was.
And you didn't see it coming?
I didn't see it coming. I didn't.
That is harsh.
I was having a great time, and I love the music, and I love the fact the shows that we were able to do were. I don't know. Have you ever seen a Girls Aloud show?
I've seen you because you came and played on Channel 4, and then we were at some charity do, and you were doing 2 or 3 numbers there, and you were a very, very tight band. I mean, you were good.
So good.
Yeah, you really all had a place, to fill. It was excellent.
Yeah, so it was. But who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the future or what? Everybody's kind of enjoying, and because when you work at such a pace for such a long time, it's nice kind of to have some time to do your own thing. And
just one more about those days. Again, Wikipedia. There's quite a lot of suggestion that it's not all harmonious now. There are some rivalries and petty jealousies, I suppose. I mean, for example, how are you with the rest of the girls? Do you hang out together, or do you go your own way?
I've kind of been living in the States with my family for 8 years, but for a lot of those times we were working in with the band. So you work and then you take your time off and you work, and there's different people that you can connect with in different ways, and and on different days depending on on what mood you're in.
Moment,
so it's a lot like that.
One more question and then we'll move on. How do you get on with Cheryl?
I think she's great. I think she's wonderful. We've always had a nice relationship.
Okay, fine. Thank you for that. Now let's talk about the music. What's the first track you're going to be singing?
The first track, this is from The Lord of the Dance. So this is the first song that I sang as part of the Dangerous Game show,
right,
where they kind of sent me up through a trapdoor and arrive in kind of a waterfall looking thing, all very dramatic. But I really enjoy this song.
And this is you as Erin the Goddess?
Apparently, yes. I play the role of the goddess, so I try to live up to that whatever way I can.
Okay, well, it's called I Can See the Stars.
Yes.
Okay, it's all yours.
Thank you.
1, 2.
I look into the stars, I can see the greatest mystery. I see their lights, they burn so bright, shine from yesterday. And silence brings the night, cast a shroud to wind another day. A time when I can hear your voice, and you lead my way. The dreams that I see, the hopes that I carry, I keep them alive just knowing you're near. Stand by me now, stand by my broken heart. I need you beside me. Embrace me now, embrace my soul again. Bring life to my feelings. You're always near, even in my dreams, always there. A whisper in my ear, with a voice as sweet as melody. My heart is warm, you lead the way, and I will follow you. Seasons come and go, and the road through life is never clear, but like the stars will always be, bright and calling me. The beauty I see, it shines through the darkness, and the hope that you bring will shine through my pain. Stand by me now, stand by my broken heart. I need you beside me. Embrace me now, embrace my soul again. Bring light to my feelings. You're always near, even in my dreams, always there. Living to be free, knowing that you're near. Take away my fears forever. Living to be free, knowing that you're near. Take away my fears forever. You're always there, even in my dreams, always near.
Wow. And the funny thing is, when you came in, we were talking about the sensational live performance by Mick Hucknall on Simply Red.
Yes.
And you would say, yeah, no pressure.
No pressure. Mike Hucknall comes on and does this.
That was come on, that was right up there too. That was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, a lot of
Thank
people
you.
used to say that you kind of had the strongest voice in the group, and I think that just kind of demonstrates it. I mean, it's a lovely voice. Does it represent any training? Have you had any professional voice training when you were growing up? Or anything
No,
like that?
I didn't. My dad did when he was younger, and then they kind of sent me for a couple of days, but then they train you as a specific way, maybe, more classical.
Right.
And then they thought, no, we'll just kind of not send her anymore. We'll just see how she does on her own. And
It's very strong. Very strong, very, very controlled. You mentioned your dad. Well, was he an amateur singer or professional?
Yes, my dad, he's done directing. He's been a singer for a long time, an actor, but he never actually went on to it professionally.
Right.
Just kind of, but he's really, really, really good. And I think he's listening. He's in LA. Hello, Daddy.
What's his name?
Niall.
Niall, you have a lovely daughter. You should be very proud. So when was it obvious then, as you were growing up in Ireland, was it obvious that you were going to go down this road? You were going to be a singer?
I wanted to. I really, really, really
What, from the
enjoyed
moment
it.
you can first remember being aware?
I remember singing always really from a young age, and then because my dad had done shows, I always had the opportunity to go and, you know, be in shows or pantomimes
Yes.
or sing with bands or big bands, and which is really, really hard training, especially, you know, when you're young and you have a huge band, you have no fancy in-ear monitors or anything at that age.
It's just you.
It's just you, and you have to just make it happen. So
And did you have the performing bug? Did you like standing up in front of people and, if you like, showing off? You know, I can do this, I can sing.
I think it's even now you kind of have that, the performance. I concentrate on the singing, and you have to think, you're like, oh, I have to do something. Let me do something with my arms, or and then I had to dance for a long time with a band.
Yeah.
So it's I kind of get lost in the singing. Really, that's
Well, you did there. I was just watching you there. It was as if you were in front of a live audience. You know, you were dancing, you were moving, you know, gesticulating and everything.
Oh,
yeah, you,
I didn't even realise.
No, you were, wasn't she, guys? You were kind of acting it out.
Oh.
All right. Well, listen. Tell me a bit more about the forthcoming album. When's it going to be out, do you think?
I'm hoping to have it out by later on this year.
Okay.
We've been in the studio constantly kind of since the last month. We've been doing every day almost in the studio, writing with loads of different artists.
So it's not finished there. It's still work in progress,
It's
is it?
still a work in progress, so
Okay.
we're still doing it. But it's all kind of coming together.
Right.
And then it's one of those things where we're like, oh, this is great. And then you do another session, and then you're like, oh, no, this was better than the one that we done the other day. So who knows where it'll end. There'll be a lot of songs to choose from. And
One
it's a
of
good way.
the most common questions I got on Twitter this morning when I told people last night before I went to bed that you were coming in was, how does she look? How does she look this one? How does she look? And I said, fabulous. I mean, you look amazing. How important do you think in what you do are, I mean, sensational looks like yours? I mean, how important is part of the package? No, come on, you know you are. How important in the overall package is that, do you think?
It's an interesting one because there's a lot of different artists that you're kind of, I mean, for example, Ed Sheeran, let's just say, not that people find him attractive, I'm sure, but he's not going for the typical, I'm an Adonis as a singer, he's not taking his top off and look at my muscles, and you buy into the whole thing, you buy into what he's saying, it's something that everybody can relate to. And those are the type of artists that...
It's a good analogy.
That are really good, that you can buy into. You believe what they say. I think sometimes it can be a bit contrived if you're, if you're always, it's all about, how you look, and let's talk about how I look, and let's... but it's also, that can be fun.
Okay, now, have you got a title for the album yet, or are you still working on that?
No,
okay.
We're still working it out. And
it's crucial, isn't it?
It's a crucial
It's like a title of a book. It's got to be right.
I know, and it's hard. You're kind of going through all these different things.
And you
don't
know.
Want it to be too deep. You're not like, I'm trying to, say something huge by the title, but you don't want it to be too throwaway either.
But the funny thing is, when it's right, when either somebody suggests it or it comes into your head, it clicks, doesn't it? It's like the light going, that's it, that's the one. Well, it'll come. What is the second song you're going to sing off this album? Or is it something different?
The second song is a song that I sang whenever I'd first began singing. It was in Ireland, in an Irish TV show, and it was the Late Late Show, and I sang a song called Fields of Gold. Sting, but the Eva Cassidy cover.
Yes, of course.
And I haven't sang it really since then.
Beautiful song.
So I kind of wanted now that I'm starting all over again, I wanted to go back to the beginning where I started with Fields of Gold. And
which version do you prefer? Do you prefer Eva Cassidy's or Sting's?
I like Eva Cassidy's.
Yeah.
But I like, I love Sting's voice, so it's
such a haunting song.
Yeah.
Beautiful lyrics.
Fingers crossed.
Fantastic. Oh, you'll be fine. Take it away.
You remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? And we'll forget the sun in his jealous sky when we lie in fields of gold. And I've never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we will walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. And many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down among the fields of gold. You remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walk in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold, we walk in fields of gold. Ooh.
And that's our fourth matchless live performance on the show today. Nadine, that was gorgeous.
Thank
That was.
you.
I can feel your daddy's pride spreading all the way across the Atlantic as he's listening to this. That was marvellous.
Thank you very much.
Many congratulations.
Thank
And
you all.
the album's going to be great. Thanks so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
You've been listening to Nadine Coyle.